Hi, I'm getting ready to make a mold. We've got a little time here while we wait for our plaster to get hard. So I'm going to make a rubber mold of a piece that we made using 3D printing. Now, we've never made a mold of this item before. It's made in plastic. And so what we're doing is the nature of an experiment, and what we want to do is make a rubber mold from the 3D printed plastic item. And we're going to see if that works, basically. I need first to cut my rubber. Now, what this is this is a mold frame. And we're going to use this mold frame to pack this item here in this rubber. Now, this rubber comes from a rubber company. I don't see any labels on the, but it comes from the Romanoff Rubber Company. Romanoff Rubber, the best rubber ever. And that's a shameless plug for my friends at Romanoff Rubber Company. Now, I've cut these squares that are already shaped to fit a standard size mold frame. And I'm going to put my first one in, and I'm going to do it with a clean rubber side up. And I'm going to pack this. That's what they call it, is packing a mold. And I'm going to pack this mold about halfway up. Notice how I'm holding it on the edges. A single fingerprint on this surface can cause it to delaminate and give you problems later on after the mold is built. And so I only touch it on the edges, and I use the tip of my scissors to push it down into place. You see how it's got plastic on each side? Well, the reason for that plastic is to keep it clean. Super, super clean. When you handle a mold, when you're packing a mold, only handle it on the edges. And then slide it in place. And what I'm doing here by tapping it down is I'm trying to work out any minor air bubbles that might be in place. Because trapped air is a bad thing. And we don't like bad things in this shop. Do we, Nikki? No. No, we don't like bad things. And I believe it takes about 8 sheets to fill this mold. I'm not sure, but here I am at 4 sheets, and I'm just about to the halfway point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this item just the way it is. I'm going to stick it in here and make sure that it doesn't touch the edges. And just in case you can't see, I'm going to bring it closer. Then I'm going to peel. This is an easy mold. Rings are harder. We cast a frog that holds a marble that's really difficult to make the mold of. But this particular one should be pretty easy. And I'm using the tip of my scissors to push the rubber down. Now, the rubber will adhere to the layer below it. So I'm pushing it down where everything, especially this layer here, I'm pushing this down and trying to work those air bubbles out. Go all the way around the edge of the piece and push that down in. Then we're going to put another layer in. Now, I know several other systems for doing this. One system, on that parting layer, I would have sprayed the whole thing with silicone release or dusted it with powder to form my mold lines. I'm not going to do that. I'm really old school. I'm going to hand cut in keys. This is not the only method for doing this. This is the old method. And we're almost done. One, maybe another layer and a half to get this. Now I'm where I'm almost even with the top, but you want to actually waste a little bit and use a little bit more than you need. So I have a sheet here that's a partial, and I'm going to use that. So I should have a little bit more rubber than it takes to fill the mold. And if you look at it here, you can see that's a little bit taller than this is. Back here, we're going to peel this off. And now this mold is ready to vulcanize. And just because I'd rather not waste rubber, I'm going to take some little scraps that I have from a previous mold, and I'm going to stick a few of them on, because you really need to use a little bit more rubber than you need in your mold. And this will just stick right down to the surface. And this ensures that I've got plenty. And there we go. Now we have plenty. Cut!
If only.